Do you have a clear-cut best team in the American League?
Oh, I just don't know if it is as clear. It's funny, we were having this conversation today during our podcast. Is there a clear-cut best team in baseball as we sit right here today? And the conversation kind of centered around, who do you think the Dodgers are in the face of a lot of their injuries and what they've dealt with? Who are the Toronto Blue Jays is a conversation we had, and I pointed to kind of what we're talking about right now with what the starting rotation has struggled to be able to do, because I think you have to give real credence to what the Detroit Tigers have done. It feels like from pole to pole, the way they started the season, the run that they have continued to maintain. So if it's the American League and where we're at right now, if you had to put me on the chopping block right now, I think that Detroit Tigers are still at the top of that list.
Yeah, we talk about it daily because the Jays have put themselves into the conversation naturally. I mean, they've got just as many wins as the Tigers. 3 or 4 days ago, they had the best record in baseball. And I guess what separates the Tigers, especially in a short series, is you got Skubal on the mound in Game 1. Like that's a huge separator. Something the Jays can't compete with the injuries of the Yankees. They can't compete with. I guess Crochet could in Boston, but that's the question mark. You look at Houston. Houston's got that history, right? For a decade, they've been the most successful team in the American League. I don't know. Would they scare you? Like I guess what I'm getting at is like it could be the Jays. They're not saying it's definitely us, but it does seem like it's kind of wide open. I guess is the point.
Yeah, no,
it's wide open in the American League.
The boys you're right. There is absolutely and I say this kind of tongue in cheek, but I mean if you close one eye and squint with the other and maybe kind of look through a foggy glass, you can see how that starts to shape up, and I think the direction you're headed speaks to that, because what did the Tigers go out and do? They had to go out and get a little help in their rotation, right, with Chris Paddock, because unfortunately for Reese, it doesn't look like things are going to be bouncing back anytime soon. And so now you do have Skubal at the tip of the spear. You've got Flaherty, and then from there, it's a young guy in Troy Melton, I believe his name is, and then a bumpy road as of right now for Casey Mize, who has otherwise been great for the most part. But that's why we start to think about the 7-game series, and that's where I think even if there is just a slight bit of depth advantage in the rotation, you have to consider what that does in the best team for the AL conversation.